to because I never go live. I've gone live a few times on like TikTok, during like football games and stuff. But if you want to jump in, I guess this is going to record it and it'll put it out anyway. So if you're going to listen live, that's cool. If you're not here, that's fine. I know nobody's joined in. But I just finished a video explaining about an incident that happened at the college I worked for. As you know, I worked in higher education for a little over 21 years in one of my career fields. And I just finished telling a story, a true story about what happened uh, there with the students and the trans. It was a transgender professor, and YouTube does not like this story at all because it's under additional review. Now I've seen some of the most horrible stuff on YouTube. Now one of my favorite podcasts is YMH Tom Segura and his wife do a podcast, and they do and say the wildest stuff and show the wildest stuff that you'll see on YouTube. Yet they are putting me through the ringer on this one. I talked about it this morning as part of a second couch confession about the colleges, universities, and the scams that Charlie Kirk was talking about. And they immediately shadow banned it because I put one video out and it started like getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views. And I immediately put the second one out and it just stalled. It is just like it got like 2 views, and I just left it out there and left it out there, and the other one just kept going and going and going. More people were watching, and then the second one I put out with this same subject matter, they stalled it. It wasn't getting pushed out anywhere, and this one is under additional review. We have to additionally review this because why? I told the truth. So you're additionally reviewing a video, and it's still sitting out. It's been 10 minutes. It's additionally reviewing my video because apparently the algorithm or whatever AI engine behind it that's reading, dictating whatever it is that I said does not approve of the subject matter, even though it is the truth. Okay, so look, I got 11 people coming in. I was just telling you guys I told a story about the university system, and I was posting it out on this new Charlie Kirk Chronicles that I'm doing to keep honoring Charlie Kirk, and YouTube has just literally put it under a additional review. I mean, it's usually they put it like right out, and I just have to wait on the ads, ad revenue, whatever, to pass. But no, this one is under additional review. We don't approve of what's being said on here. We are going to, watch your language on what you're saying. And oh man, I forgot, guys. You could probably hear me a lot better if I put my microphone on, and this make things a lot easier. Here, one sec. Just give me 1 second. Let me plug this microphone in. And I was just trying to charge my phone. Maybe you guys can hear me now with the mic. Give me a thumbs up or whatever if you can hear me better. I was just telling you that I believe that, my video, and I'll have to check on it after I stop this live session. But I uploaded a video this morning, and hey, Joanne, I uploaded a video. So I didn't plan on going live, and the only reason why I am going live is because I just tried to upload a video that I previously did this morning, and I know that the YouTube shadow banned it because the first video I put up this morning was just like immediately getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views and getting all kinds of people responding to it and messaging me. So I did a second one like immediately after, and it just like no view, 1, 2 views after like hours. I'm like, okay, so they definitely shadow banned it. So I said, I'm gonna do this one during the evening. I'll redo it, and I'll do it during the night, and I'll just space them out. Well, I did it, and apparently YouTube does not approve of the subject matter, even though they approve of all sorts of other horrible stuff that's being shown on YouTube. They don't approve of a true story. This is true. that happened at the university that I'm trying to explain, that, you know, the reason why Charlie Kirk was going on about college is a scam, he's not wrong. And not just a scam as far as your education, but they're scamming these students. They're hijacking their minds. And you know, I'm hearing a lot of things, and I can't confirm any of this stuff about this young man who killed Charlie Kirk. Oh, he's a Republican. He's a Republican. Well, maybe he used to be, and then he went to colleges and they brainwashed him into believing that everybody's a fascist. I don't know what's going on. So, but I'm sure we're going to find out. And a lot of it has to do with the colleges and the universities, man. And I got stories. I got 21 and a half years of stories out the ass of how crazy these college and university systems have done these students. So I just got a little upset because I posted a video and it's under additional review and approval because it doesn't like the subject matter. What? Because I talked about a true story. Do I have to go on another social media platform? Do I have to go on what's the one you pay for? I don't like to do that. It's Patreon. Do I have to go on Patreon in order to tell these stories? Because YouTube is going to censor what I have to say. But you can see some of the most horrific, horrible things being said about Charlie Kirk and his family and him being assassinated. And, you know, my son brought up a really good point. It wasn't just an assassination. It was a public execution is what happened. And probably the largest public execution since JFK, maybe even bigger than that, because there's thousands of students there. So, yeah, that's what that was. But what I was, yeah, evil people, you're no lie. But yeah, again, the reason and I never go live, but the reason I'm live is just because of that. You know what? I put a video out, and I'll talk about it in this video if you want me to, because it's going to end up putting this out, and it's going to end up putting this out anyway because I went live, and it's not reviewing it as I go live. But if you want me to repeat the story, I'll repeat it if some more people jump in, because I know people have been asking, "Hey, man, tell us some more about what's going on in the colleges and universities in our country." And dude, it's crazy. It's just nuts. You have anything you want to, questions you want to ask, go right ahead. But I mean, I may jump off here in a second and see if they approved my video. But if not, I'll rename it. I don't know. I have to choose my words differently on how I say it, because somebody at the YouTube algorithm is offended at the way the words were used. I have no idea, but you know what? This is it's sad that we're supposed to be a country of freedom of speech. And, my mom was always harping on me about, if somebody says something negative, let them say it. Let them say whatever it is they want to that's negative. Let them say it, because at least those people are out there and you know how to identify them. You know how to watch out for them. The minute you start censoring people is the minute you start not knowing who you are dealing with. So she was really adamant about, if anybody says anything bad, mean, don't ever delete the post. Keep it up there. You need to know what you're dealing with. You need to know what kind of nuts are out there. And you need to be able to recognize them. And the minute you start censoring anybody, whether you agree with them or not, and especially if you don't agree with them, the minute you start censoring that, you start losing track of where these nut jobs are. So I've never deleted any post anybody negatively put, and it's usually soccer videos. But when you get into this, when you get into this kind of stuff that's going on with Charlie, hey, I need advice. All right, be hidden. What do you need advice with? Sorry, I'm going on a rant here, but what do you need advice with? Let me know. I'll give you the best advice I can. Or Joanne can help too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I ran all you like. Oh, yeah, I could go on for hours on this stuff. So, I'll say this, and I'll put this on another. Video. But there was another incident at the college where there was a. It's usually always in the liberal arts department, but there was another college professor, and I was going down the hall one day and I heard this noise coming out of his office. Like, what is going on in there? Is he like he's got a bounce house in his office? What's going on in there? And he had one of those. He had a blow up mattress, and he was blowing up his blow up mattress in his office. So what the hell is he doing? Is he taking naps or whatever in there? And later on, I find out no, he's using it because he's having sex with students for grades. He's purposely failing students or giving them D's or ruining the GPA or ruining whatever it is that they're trying to do. And then they're so desperate that they're going into his office and they're having oral sex, they're having sex with this guy. And he gets caught. Okay? He's got doing this at work in his office, a professor. Okay? What do you think the administration did to that guy? Do you think they fired him? Absolutely not. They said, "Hey, you need to take that mattress out of your office. You can't do that. You can't do that anymore. You can't do this in your office, and you can't do this at work." They didn't fire him. You know why? Because he's tenured. So that's the same thing as saying it's okay and supporting that. And those are the kind of things that have happened. Yeah, it is nasty. So hidden one. If I tell my mom this, I will be cooked. But I was at school and I was feeling very down, so I went to the bathroom and leaned over the toilet. I took my knife out and I cut and I could. What? You cut and you couldn't stop? What do you mean you cut and you couldn't stop? I have a friend who had this issue, a cutting issue. She would cut herself on her hip. She would to relieve whatever stressors that she had. She was into cutting, and that was a big thing back in the 2010 was cutting. What do you mean you're cutting yourself, sweetie? I don't know that I can help you with something like that. I think you should talk to somebody if you're even telling the truth about that. But I don't want to make light of any self harm. But if you are doing self harm, there are people out there that you should speak to, and I'm not an authority on this subject, so I'm not giving you any kind of medical advice, but you shouldn't be self-harming. My arm is red and it hurt. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're cutting it, of course it's going to hurt. What do you mean you just don't know what to do? What I don't understand this. I feel like you don't know what to do as far as the cuts, or you don't know what to do as far as the reason why you're cutting. Because I don't want to make a light of this, but I feel like I'm being trolled here a little bit. I certainly wouldn't want you to do anything to hurt yourself. That's not, self-harm is not okay. You get this one life, you get this one body, you get this one mind, you get this one chance. You don't know how to tell your mom. You want to tell your mom. It sounds like you want to tell your mom. And I'll tell you the easiest way to tell your mom. You're 12. Sweetie, if this is true, then I think the easiest way for you to tell your mom is just to tell your mom. I don't think your mom is going to be upset with you or angry with you about this. She's going to want to know. I wouldn't think that your parent would be angry with you about something like this. They want to help you. I don't know what your situation is, so I can't again give you professional advice. I'm not a medical professional. So, and if this is true, then you definitely need to talk to somebody. She yells at me for the slightest thing that I do. And you're afraid. So is there somebody else that you can talk to? Another parent, a friend? You have a friend that you can talk with their parent? Because self-harm is not okay. Again, you have this one body, this one life, this one thing to take care of, and not everybody gets an opportunity. I have a friend who's dying of bone cancer, and that's not her choice. And if you're making a choice to hurt yourself, and there's people out there who are clinging on to their lives and love their children so much, but they can't help what's happening to their bodies, and you're making a choice on what you're doing to your body, you really should talk to somebody. Joanne's willing to reach out. She doesn't support you because you're bi. Well, that's a shame. The part of what I was talking about in the video, and the reason why I went live was, I don't care. I don't define myself by my sexuality, and I don't care if somebody's gay, if they're bi, if they're transition. It doesn't matter to me. Live your life however it is, because it's your life. It's your life, and value it. And if that's how you see yourself, that's fine. But I don't walk around just thinking about sexes and identifying as sexes. There's a lot of things I agree with Charlie Kirk, a lot, and a lot I don't. But you can agree to disagree. I'm sorry, if this is true, the hidden one, that your mom doesn't support you. Have you talked to your dad? Is your dad available? Is he live? I would recommend talking to a friend's parent, a good parent that you know. Again, I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not qualified to do that. But, self-harm, your brain doesn't develop fully until you're 25 years old. So, the things you do will have everlasting consequences for the rest of your life. So you should really take care of yourself. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. We've all anybody our age who's on here has all been 12 years old, and a lot of us have been down the same roads that you guys are traveling. Just you won't listen to the directions we give you. You want to walk down that dangerous road on your own, and you don't want to listen to somebody saying, hey, you need to watch out for this rock or this cliff over here. You're just going to have to learn it on your own. But yeah, the reason I went live is because I'm waiting for that video to get for YouTube to additionally approve what I was talking about. And that's very upsetting, because you try to tell a story, you're telling the truth, you're warning people about, hey, these are some of the cautionary tales that you need to watch out for, because some of this stuff happened like 15, 20 years ago, 10 years ago or so, in the college system when I was working in higher education. And somewhere in YouTube, they obviously do not want to hear this. They do not want to hear these anecdotal stories. And this is not an anecdote. This has really happened. I mean, I was there. They're asking me, hey, what are we supposed to do about this? Like, you're the vice president of the college. What do you think we should do about this? Come on. You should fire this person. Oh, we can't fire them. They're tenured. So you're just going to let them go around, accosting dual enrollment students, which some of them are underage? What are we talking about here? You need to get law enforcement involved with this. I mean, it's just, this just irritates the shit out of me that, the how this blame of everybody's blaming everybody for pointing fingers and left and right and this, that, and the other. Nobody's taking accountability for their own ideas, thoughts, actions, education, anything. And a lot of this, and I hate to say it, I loved being in higher ed. I did. I love the students. I love helping the students. I love it. It was a good time, but it became a liberal petri dish of lies and deceit and manipulation and just taking advantage of these students, getting them into debt, getting them in the programs they weren't qualified to be in. Do you realize that only 27% of everybody who graduates college gets a job in the degree that they graduated with? 27%. If I told you that your parachute had a 27% chance of opening when we jumped out of the airplane, you'd be like, fuck that, I'm not going. I'm not jumping out. So just think about that. 27% of people who graduate with a degree actually get a job in the degree that they went for. Tell me how that's not a scam. And they have departments that are supposed to be dedicated to help these young students find jobs. But let me give you an example. The University of Tennessee at Knoxville has approximately 40,000 undergraduate students this fall semester. How big of a department do you have to try to help these students get jobs straight out of college? They're just not. It's not happening. They can't do the job. They're not willing to do the job. They're giving you an education with no experience. That's why the technical schools are outperforming the colleges and universities, getting certificates and certifications and welding or whatever it is that you want to get in, is becoming more profitable than getting into debt in a 4-year school where 27% of the people actually get a job in the degree in which they received. So if you got an English degree, the odds on you being a teacher or a teaching degree or biology or whatever, I met so many people with degrees in biology who were in IT. It's just unbelievable. They're a degree in biology, but they're information technology people. Don't have degrees in information technology. I don't have a degree in information technology, and that's what I was in. So, the hidden one, I think, is probably gone, and I'm not 100% sure about this. I think it might have been a troll on that. I hope it was a troll, but I have a hard time believing that somebody would just jump in on this and say they were 12 years old and were self-harming. I don't think that's anything to joke about. But people are sick, and I hope it's not true. But if it is, you need to seek advice from a competent professional. You need to go to somebody's parent or somebody that you trust at school or another parent, and you need to talk with them. Stop running. You can't keep running away from your problems. This is never going to work out. They're always going to outpace you. So I probably won't be on this much longer. Probably, another 5 minutes or so. I'll make it even 30 minutes. But this will be available, I guess, to watch because it's live. And I appreciate everybody who joined in. This was impromptu. This was done out of irritation and of a video that I try to upload that YouTube has got to approve again because of the subject matter. And it's just ridiculous considering all the things that are going on in the world. You think you would want to know cautionary tales of what to look out for when you're getting your children and into massive lifetime amounts of debt in colleges, universities. And I'm sorry, I know Charlie Kirk didn't go to college. I did, and that guy was smarter than I am, and he wasn't wrong. It didn't used to be that way at college and university. It became that way, and became that way through these liberal ideologies that just, I mean, it is the stories I can tell you. And you would say, at that school, seriously, there's no way in a red state that would happen at that university or that JUCO or that place. There's no way that would happen there. Yes, absolutely. And then you can share stories between other colleges and universities because you sit on boards and committees and you talk about, hey, man, this is going on at my school. What do I do about it? Well, this is what we did about it. Nothing. Or another college, they did something about it. All right. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Come back on time. All right. Bye. Sorry about that. I forgot what I was talking about. I was ranting on something. Joanne, if you're still here, you just tell me. But the 4-year, the stories that will go on between the college, one of the committees that I sat on for the state that covered all border regent schools. That's all 4-year schools and universities and colleges, 2-year colleges. And the stories that we share were just so similar about what was happening across the board. And it had to do with the administration and then the people that they were hiring. And the people they were hiring, a lot of them professors, a lot of them administrative people, vice presidents, deans, things like that. And would completely change the culture of the college to the point where, it's predatory, not just preying on these children because their funding is based on not just retention rates, it's started to be based on graduation rates. So let's just get these kids graduated, and that's when you get more money. They don't do it on just retention rates, on the student population. They used to do it on student population. They realized, wow, we're getting ripped off. The government's getting ripped off. So you actually have to graduate these people. And when that happened, that's when they were just bringing anybody and everybody in to come teach these classes. These, you'd have a UPS driver with a master's degree teaching a class he wasn't qualified for at a 2-year college. They're just pumping these students out with zero education. And I agree with Charlie Kirk that it's a scam. Now, I had an enriching experience and some very great professors when I went to college, but it was a different time. Oh, that's my buddy right there. People jumping on and off. I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate the likes. I'll stay on a couple more minutes because I just want to find out if they're going to upload my video or not. Because if they don't, I'll just say it on a live, and they'll just have to go through my live and find out what's going on. Because I'll just name it on my live, and then people can watch it and be like, "What the fuck? Maybe I don't need to send my daughter to college or universities. Maybe you don't. Maybe you need to send them to welding school or send them to a trade school or let them do nails. Or you can make great careers and great money and not be in tons of debt. Seriously, 27% of the people who graduate at college and universities actually get a job in what they studied at that college and university. Again, if I told you that your parachute had a 27% chance of opening when you jump out of that airplane, you would say, fuck that, I am not going. So just think about that, man. You're taking on, a lot of these kids are taking on a lifetime of debt. And it's sad. And yeah, people jumping off. All right, I'm going to give you about 20 more seconds, and then I'm going to jump off and see if that video went out. Guys, I appreciate you liking the podcast. Like, subscribe. I think my son got me sick. He had me help him out the other day because he was sick. So every time my children get sick, they want to be around me. And my son lives in a completely different county. I mean, he lives like an hour away, but he wanted me to help him with something because he was sick. So he's off work. So I went to help him. That boy, he wouldn't stop coughing. And I think he's getting me sick because I'm starting to feel it in my throat. And I told him, dude, do not go to work and get other people sick and ruin their weekend. Stay home if you're sick again on Friday. That's Friday. And now I'm starting to feel like shit. But the things you do for your kids, you know what I mean? All right, guys. I'm going to jump off. Let me know if you want me to do another live again. This was impromptu. I didn't plan on doing it, but I did it out of frustration. So I want to see if that video, if YouTube, after reanalyzing my video over and over and over again, approved it, or are they going to flag it for some? I know they're going to shadow ban it. So if you've been on here, because I know what happens when I post these. When I post them early in the morning, I mean, immediately hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views, if not thousands. And then around this time during the evening, same thing. So if that video posts, they're gonna release it during a time nobody's gonna watch it, and they're definitely not gonna push it out. So, all right, guys, I'll just you guys are gone, so I'm gone. Bye. I'll stop this shit because I don't ever go live, and I know my son made me sick. All right, see ya.